Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Cowtown Part 2. We have another guest here. This gentleman's been around for many years, and he's got a bunch of projects that he has worked on that you ought to know his name. But just in case you don't know his name, we're going to introduce him to you. His name is Mr. Steve Garcia.
That's right.
He informed me just a while ago that he's new to cons, despite the fact that he has been in the industry
For about 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is your first con?
This is my first year doing conventions. I was supposed to start in 2020, but COVID. So that pushed everything back to this year. So this will be my fourth convention so far.
Fourth convention.
And I got 8 more, I think, till the end of the year.
All right. Well, just tell everybody just a little bit about yourself, and you can, name a few projects.
Okay. Yeah. My name is Steve Garcia. I am an animator, illustrator. 30 years in the industries. Animator for film and TV, films such as Iron Giant, Cats on Dance, TV such as Simpsons, X-Men Evolution, just a whole bunch of stuff. For illustration, I've worked for Wizards of the Coast. I'm back when they were at TSR. So doing mainly their magazine line type of work. Video game developers, worked on Epic Mickey as one of the very first concept people on that show, the first one. So just a lot of different things over the past 30 years. That's why the hair's so gray, but yeah.
Any other video games that we might know of?
A lot of things when you're working in video games, a lot of it, the development stuff, a lot of it doesn't get made. So, you work on it and then they decide that, well, we're not going to do this. So they put you on another game. So I worked for studios like Disney Interactive, Junction Point, Midway Games, a lot of smaller type of places like Gizmondo when they were actually there. So just a lot of different studios, some big, some small. Yeah. And in all these things, like with games, it's one studio to the next studio to the next studio. So wherever they need you.
And where are you from originally?
Originally, I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Same as Bill Andres. Then I went to Colorado for school. Then I went to California for second school. And I was hired right out of school to be an animator, which is very unusual because there's usually this ladder type of process. So it was during like the second animation boom of the 90s. So they needed people. They saw I could hold a pencil halfway decent and drew halfway decent. And they put me to work, and it's been busy nonstop since then. So.
Okay, well, obviously you've never lived in Canada.
No, but when I was working for Electronic Arts, we had a Canada branch, so I almost had to go to Canada. They said, "Yeah, you want to go to Canada?" I was like, "Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of taking planes." So luckily, I never went. But I kind of regret that because Canada, it's a new experience. But
so do you read comic books and stuff?
Oh, I love comic books. I was born on love of animation and comic books, and I actually wanted to be in comics. I used to fantasize about being in the 80s, walked through the Marvel offices, meeting like the greats, Frank Miller, and Sam Del Rose is outside.
Yes, he is.
I met him in 1983 when he was with Carrie Gamble. I was a 13-year-old, and I'm seeing him for the first time since then. I went over to him. I was like a little girl, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's Sam Del Rose. I haven't seen you. You don't remember me?" Like, he doesn't remember
I'm a
me.
Venom freak.
Yeah.
So the very first con was here. It was at Cowtown, but last year, and I find out he's going to be here, and so not only
it's a big deal.
Not only the first, I guess, was that the first con where we interviewed people? It was. It was the first con where we interviewed people. So not only did I get to meet Sam, the Venom guy, OG, but I also got to interview him at the first con.
That's cool.
Got to sit down and talk to Sam.
And he's one of those guys that he's as sweet now as he was then, man. When you meet these guys, you hope that they don't turn out to be jerks. And right. Sam is just one of the sweetest dudes in the whole world. So yeah. So I mean, I grew up on comics and I grew up on animation, and I wanted to do comics, but then I kind of gravitated. Something happened. I just said, okay, well, I'm going to go into animation. So I did that, and it's always been a part of my love. I mean, I collect comics, and I've got like high grade X-Men #1, Giant Size X-Men #1. I mean, I'm all in as far as comics. I think it's one of the most perfect art forms there is. That and animation, but animation has been, I don't want to say corrupted, but everything's going digital, right? Animation's for the most part digital now, and I tried my hand at the digital thing, and I learned it, and but it just wasn't the same. I didn't have that organic feel, that love. I felt more like a puppeteer, and it's just something I just couldn't see myself continuing doing. So I went into back to my illustration roots of doing, and I did work for video games and everything, but I still had that love for comics. So now I kind of left that, and I said, I'm tired of making studios rich. I want to do my own thing. So opened my own studio, and I'm doing my own thing, and I'm finally within the comic book world. I'm doing the conventions and things and meeting so many wonderful people like McLean and Ken Salinas and Bill. And it's I should have done this because it is my origin love, my passion. It's part of my soul, comics and comic art. I should have been doing this like 10, 15 years ago, but I'm glad I'm here now, man. So
It's not too late.
it's never too late, man. I'm still alive. I'm a little older, but a little punchier, but
Well, we just had a guy that came in here earlier, and he got a late start as well. And he was a school teacher, and he's like, it's never too late.
yeah. Yeah, and the passion is still as much as it ever was, if not more so for me as far as comics. And I'm just like, I feel that like 13-year-old kid in me again, just I'm here, and I'm mixing and mingling with the people that I was born to mix and mingle with, I'm home, basically.
Is there going to be any future collaborations coming from the people that you've met here?
Probably. I would love to do something with McLean and Ken, and I know I was talking to Chris Hayes about a possibility down the line. So yeah, I'm sure there will be. Right now, I'm kind of like, I still get lots of offers from studios to, why don't you take on some animation for us? I just want to concentrate on just setting the foundation for me for right now, doing the illustration stuff, doing the shows, and as we go on, I'll get back into doing, so that's probably when I'll touch base with Chris Hayes and see if maybe we can do something together.
Beautiful magic.
Yeah, man. Good people. And that's another thing, is that the people within this industry, more than any industry I've been in, and I've been in a lot, they're real people. They're real people, and they're good people. They're genuine people. You don't get the feeling that you're going to get stabbed in the back. Now, I'm sure that there's some of those people out there, but this feels more like not so much people that you're working with or alongside, but like family, and that's important. That is very important. I've been in the industries for over 30 years, so I'm sure I've got a little bit of that looking over my shoulder type of thing and never knowing who's going to, come at you.
Right.
So it's different now. It's like I feel much more relaxed.
You said Iron Giant was probably your most noticeable project.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite one that you
It is. And I'm surprised that people are coming to me. It's like, oh, the Iron Giant, it's Cats on Dance, The Simpsons. And it's wonderful to see these, because these are a long time ago, man. It's like 20, 25 years on these things. So it's like these things have made such a mark on people that and impact. I had people writing me emails like, oh, that movie touched me when I was going, it touched my heart when I was going through some difficult times with my family. It's like, and you don't see this when you're working on these projects, especially for a studio. You don't see it because there's a wall of separation between you and the people that are watching your stuff. So with conventions, it's nice to kind of have that wall down, and you can mix and mingle with these people and hear their stories and their love for it, and it's very humbling and inspiring at the same time.
If you had jumped into the comic side of things a lot sooner, and you would have been able to work on some character development with some of these characters, who do you think that you would have been?
Spider-Man, man.
That was easy.
Dude, because Spider-Man is one of those characters, more than probably any other character, that both boys and girls relate to. They just relate to him because you all the problems that he goes through as Peter Parker as a kid are problems that both boys and girls go through. Growing up and the blended type of family. Being raised by having deaths in the family. It's just stuff that appeals to the heart of every single human being, boy or girl. And McLean's a big Spider-Man fan, and he'll tell you almost the same thing I'm telling you. It's one of those characters that just reaches into your heart and just holds on. And if you are at a young age where that happens to you, which is me, back in the 70s, 80s, it stays with you and makes a mark on you, where it's like it's something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. These characters aren't just two-dimensional characters. These characters are very, very Really.
Do you have any favorite places that, like, you get creative, where it gets the creative juices flowing? Any place special?
Any place special? I usually do it in my studio, because I'm one of those guys who just likes. I just got to be away from everybody within my studio. But there has been places where like, I mean, like the bathroom. Well, because I mean, nothing that I do full on.
The thinking throne.
Yeah, you know, because I'm one of those guys where I like to have at least a pencil and a paper, at least a little scrap of something with me anywhere, because you get an idea and you got to at least sketch it out real quick, just like a real shorthand, so you can come back to it later. So yeah, I mean. So don't borrow that pencil from me.
Use a little hand sanitizer.
That's right. Yeah.
Look, bro, this is the time of the show or the interview where I want you to tell everybody how they can find you.
Yeah. Mainly on Instagram. Steve Garcia online on Instagram. There's a little cartoon, little thingy of me. Mainly there. You can also email me at stevegarciaonline@gmail.com. I answer all the PMs, DMs, whatever. Just let me know if you see me at a con, and we'll go from there. And yeah, I appreciate the time, man.
Oh man, absolutely. Now tell anybody that you want to say thank you to, or anybody that you love.
Well, I thank first my wife for being so patient with me these past 30 years in these crazy industries, and because there is a sacrifice that
yes,
you know.
it is.
So absolutely, and I thank the people like Chris Hayes, McLean McGuire, Ken Salinas, Bill, Andres, David Sanchez for just like taking me in and just making me feel at home and helping me with all my goofy questions as far as starting conventions, because I can be a bit of a manic and nut sometimes, a little tense, but they've been very patient. And you know, thanks for the opportunity to come on here and visit with you, man.
Yeah, man, no problem. We like introducing our people to new people, and hopefully new people meets new people, and the new people share to new people.
Absolutely.
And then the community and the family
well,
grows.
I get nervous on these types of things. I'm not used to them. So coming on here, I was a little shaky, but you know, you kind of made me feel at ease, and it's been an easy interview.
Yeah, man, everybody.
And there wasn't even alcohol introduced here. It's just this guy's sparkling personality.
That's it. I'm a people person. People like me.
But thanks again, man.
Yeah, brother. Hey, I appreciate you coming by, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, go check out them King and Blacks.
Absolutely, man.
Cave of Maniacs. Appreciate it again. Go check him out. Check out his stuff. Peace.